Thanks for stopping by to the Tom Auto channel. Today we'll be looking at a 4R70W out of a 2002 Ford E250 van. Has all forward gears, even in reverse. We're going to show you what we found, what to look for, and the upgrades we do when this unit is apart. And we're going to get the R back into reverse. Stay tuned. Some of the parts that we will be replacing during this repair include the reverse drum, reverse band, overdrive band, and a set of forward clutches. And that's where we found our problem, why when we put in reverse, we're still going forward. We found two welded steels and a friction. During our inspection, we didn't find any bad lip seals, bushings, sealing rings. So you might be tempted to go ahead and throw a set of clutches in and a band. Don't do it. We may have found the problem, but we haven't found the cause. So, where do we go from here? Follow me. Well, here's where we found the problem here, guys. We found it here in the overdrive servo pin bore. Thing's worn out and it's causing a leak. I'll talk about that hydraulic circuit. But the thing we need to know today is how are we going to repair that? Now, there's two ways of doing that. One is we ream it out and we put a bushing in there and resize it to factory. And we can get that tool. We've been using this since I've started doing these transmissions. Check them out at servobore.com. And this is kind of what it looks like, is we've got two reamers to get this thing oversized, and then we'll replace this bushing and we'll bring this back to factory specs. I will be doing a video specifically on this procedure. The other alternative is Sonex offers a pin that has two O-rings in it that will take up that clearance and stop that leak also. But any transmission work wouldn't be complete unless we looked at the valve body itself, the brains of the transmission. And these bores tend to wear. Sometimes you can see it, and there's several ways of testing that. A wet test, you can shine a light down into the bore, see where. We prefer to use the Sonex vacuum stand, and we get an accurate way of determining where that bore is wore, and if we need to ream or just put a drop-in valve. And thanks to the guys at Central Valve Body, they've done just that. With this kit we're going to be using here is that 470W K1 on this 2002 E250. It's what we call a gently oversized valve. It's the alternative to reaming, because once that valve body is reamed, unless they come up with a thing down the road, this valve body's junk in 50, 60, 70,000 miles. So we're going to do a video also with Central Valve Body showing you the drop-in and the vacuum differences. I've already played with it, and guys, I already tell you, it works. And also, 2001, Ford decided they wanted to eliminate this reinforcement plate. So, you know what? Donnie and the guys at Central Valve Body came up with a plate here, and we'll go ahead and drill and tap the valve body. You'll see these two things here and here. We'll flip it over and we'll drill it, put new threads in, and we'll go from there. So anyway, another thing we want to look at on this while we're doing an overhaul, and we maybe have a direct clutch problem. Ever since they eliminated that plate, we don't get the clamping around that area on the gasket. Now you can't see it very well from here, but I can see it, take my word for it, that we don't have the clamping like it should have around here. So with the addition of this plate, we're going to reclamp that. We're going to keep the plate from cracking, and we're going to have a great unit. So stay tuned for some of the videos coming up with the boring out that case where the overdrive servo pin goes, and also watch us as we demonstrate the gently oversized valves in this valve body. A little information on that hydraulic circuit on that overdrive servo pin bore where we saw the excessive clearance in the case. That's a dual acting piston where we have apply oil on one side and release on the other. Now the forward clutches use the same oil as that release side. So if I have leaking in that circuit at all, the apply for the band will overcome the release, and now we got a band that's going to drag on the reverse drum. Now at the same time, we don't have the proper pressures going to the forward clutches, so they start to drag and weld themselves together. So when I see a overdrive band worn out along with the forward clutches, be sure to go look at that bore. Yeah, a couple of the upgrades we do while we have this unit apart. This is our intermediate sprag that likes to and high RPMs. It's either will come off and really not a very good thing. So we replace it with the spiral ring from Superior. It has a cup. Things ain't coming off when we use that. Another thing we like to do is use Teflon rings on the output shaft that's for the direct drum. Kind of the weak spot of the whole system. So we want to make sure we're sealed up pretty good on that. Also, don't forget that on this overdrive servo, which we've been talking about today, be sure you put in the new ring. This is a new one. I got this one in the kit. It's flat on one side, smooth, kind of round, tapered on the other. I believe the smooth side goes up. Be sure to check your instructions on that. Also, we have the old style anti-clunk spring. This tends to wear a hole in the case. We've upgraded it to this like V-bar type deal. That goes in a certain way. Let me get you that part number. 2L3Z7F27AA. Those are some of the things we do while we have this unit apart. We do have another one that we're going to be doing here after this. It's going to be out of a 98 Lincoln Mark 8. The guy wants a hot rod. So we may do a video on that because Sonix has a good package on a forward drum and a direct drum kit. I'll be talking with the customer, see if that's how far he wants to go. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and ring that bell. And comments are always welcome. Have a great day. See you next time.